This is day 14 of Russia's war on Ukraine, and in that time span, more than 2.2 million people have fled the fighting, most of them women and children, because as we've been telling you, men 18 to 60 are not permitted to leave. They have to stay to fight. More than 1 million of the refugees have entered Poland, and that's where they wait and decide where to go next. Our David Common is at a train station near the Poland-Ukraine border.
We are, just a few kilometers off the border point itself. This is a train station. You see many people in behind me. These are people who have arrived primarily off the trains coming from places like Kyiv. Just about 30 minutes ago, a train pulled in. They get processed and in some cases get loaded onto buses. So that bus now full, perhaps heading to Krakow or Warsaw, other the bigger cities. You see some people here who are continuing to wait for a ride, but far more inside the building as well. Now, when people arrive, in some cases, they're holding babies, like that person is there. I think that's actually a kid carrying a baby, and there are lots of stories of kids arriving unaccompanied. When they arrive, often hungry, they have very little. I mean, you see some people here with rolly bags, but you see lots of other people just with plastic bags, whatever they could carry, and volunteers, huge numbers of volunteers, Polish and others who have driven into these border areas to try to help where they can. I want to actually show you a little bit inside the train station. We won't go all the way in, but just to open the door, the reason we won't go in is it's frankly, it's just utterly packed in here. So huge numbers of people arriving on trains. We'll just get out of the way because there are people who are trying to get in and out, but it gives you a sense. Please go ahead, please. Yeah. Hello. In fact, we met that woman a little earlier because she got off the train from Kyiv and handed me her phone. And on that phone, in multiple languages, Polish, Ukrainian, and English, she said, "I have a daughter in Stuttgart. She has 2 children. I need to get to her." And so that's what happens here. The idea of trying to process people, try to find them rides, try to get them perhaps on a train to somewhere else, try to get them to where they may have family, or if they don't, try to get them away from these border areas, which are just becoming saturated.
David, this is just extraordinary as you take us in those scenes and meet the people directly. 2.2 million, I was mentioning, have left Ukraine already. The projection is 4 million, maybe 5. What a test, David, for resources, for logistics, for capacity. Can Poland sustain it?
The short answer is no. Poland could not absorb the numbers that it has already taken. This is a humanitarian crisis, a refugee crisis on the order that we really have not seen in modern time because of the speed. You think about the horrors of Syria and the large number of people who escaped to just get away from the danger. Well, that danger has happened in a much more confined time, in a much wider space in Ukraine, and as a result, a large number of people have left in just the past 2 weeks. So the capacity to handle it all, you just see wave after wave after wave of people. It will be an enormous test, not just for Western Europe, to which many of these people are going, but also to North America, Canada included, to try to get people before the situation they're in, arriving just with plastic bags and little else gets worse.
That is David Common.